Eisenberg with the call.
Thanks, Sal. A monstrous park course here at the Staples Center awaits the most decorated field of skaters aggressive inline has ever seen at the X Games Finals. There is nobody more hardcore and daring than Carlos Pianowski. The harder the trick, the better he likes it. Well, no one is more amped to be out here on this monstrous course than this guy, Carlos Pianowski. Watch where he's starting from.
Well, look at this, wasting no time, headed right for the Great Wall, and he gets a double variation out of it, going frontside Farfanugan to topside Sol. Setting up right there on the vert quarter pipe. Here he comes for a launch box, faking backflip over the box, and the crowd goes wild.
Yeah, he just started doing that last season. Definitely a crowd-pleasing trick. Not very many people do it.
Well, and look at this, right back up on top of the Burbank. Keeps gravitating towards these high areas. This course is so well suited for Carlos' style of skating. Everything's so big out there, and he loves to go big. Head for the straight handrail sweat stance, a more difficult variation on the handrail.
Yeah, you get so much speed on that big scoop rail, and he, of course, loves that. That's how he normally street skates.
Going frontside rail on the 10-foot quarter pipe. 540 over the wedge bank.
Much more difficult, though, to launch on the wedge-to-wedge box than a transition box.
True, but still the 540 is not, the judges will look at it as kind of a gimme, and here he goes, flat spin. Now that's more impressive, but it came after the buzzer, and he didn't even land it. But watch this start to his run. You want to start out with a big impression. He goes frontside Farfanugan, topside Sol, and he actually flubbed the transition there on that combo, but I don't think the judges will have noticed it. And here's a 540 on that bank box.
84.25, not a bad way to start for hardcore Brazil. And Stefan Alfano, the 2001 World Amateur Champion, is all the way up in the second ranking in the world.
Starting on that long ski slope, right into a topside porn star across a huge Great Wall. And he goes 360 the wrong way over the launch box.
Stefan can just conjure tricks up anywhere, anytime. He's so talented.
Airing into the corner, 900 over the launch box. Already having a great run. Alley-oop topside Sol on the quarter pipe. So many tricks.
Getting slightly squirrely there on the big spin, but no problems.
Alley-oop unity across the wall. And
whoa, that's something you don't see from Stefan every day. Going down, just adjusting his skate quickly.
And that is so strange because he's thrown so many difficult tricks already, and that one seemed like a pretty basic trick. I mean, as far as Stefan goes, and to fall on that, very uncharacteristic. So coming right back at it, and you can see that corkscrew 720 over the hip, but it was no problem for him. Now showing off some technicality, no problem, any trick he wants.
So coming out of the Hollywood Bowl with 3 big tricks, despite the fall, he leaves himself a little bit of room for improvement, but this run chock full of big tricks.
Look at the height on this 900. Stefan is so impressive. This is what separates the great skaters from the good ones. And look at this. This is just a setup, but he does an alley-oop unity.
So wall-to-wall tricks, and Stefan Alfano is rewarded despite the fall, and 85.75 puts him in first.
It's easy to get swallowed up by a huge course like this, so you have to throw big tricks to be successful. With so many ramps, it's important to find a fast line. When you have wheels on your feet, faster is definitely better. And finally, on such a unique course, the advantage goes to the most creative skaters.
Well, few skaters have had more success than this guy. Jaron's been skating for 11 years.
So here we go.
Jaron's got huge tricks in mind. He was doing things that were unheard of.
Whoa, there's a great line to start out his run. First rider we've seen do that, coming the wrong way on that straight handrail.
Well, and watch this. He was doing this all throughout practice.
Alley-oop porn star going from the 6-foot quarter all the way up to the top of that 14-foot sub box. That is impressive.
His legs getting squirrely underneath him, coming down 14 feet.
Yeah, that's a lot of speed to come down with. Now he's working the smaller sub box, jumping back into the quarter. He's got some speed, backflip over the hip box, right into the 540. So we are seeing the kind of excitement that we expect from Jaron grow, going over the hip 270, and look at him charging with speed into the Hollywood Bowl. And a little fish brain out of it.
Whoa. Pulling himself up the Burbank, setting up for the scoop rail.
Zolgren, he is always such an exciting skater. He's earned the nickname the Monster. The crowds love him. Look at the start to this run. Cannot emphasize enough how impressive, how difficult this is. Airing off of that wedge all the way up onto the straight handrail. And then he jumps into the quarter pipe and pumps for speed. A great start. And this is the highlight of the run. All the way up on the great wall. And Ali Pornstar. And that was coming off of the 6-foot quarter pipe. He couldn't hold on to it, but what an impressive trick. And look at how he finishes the run. Soul all the way down the scoop. 180 into the bank. What a great run for the Monster.
A 72.75, a really low score for that run. We're going to have to find out what he thinks of that score. That puts Jaron Grobe right now in 10th position. So at the end of round number 1, Stefan Alfano with an 85.75 sits on top. We'll be back with more of round number 2, but first, let's go to women's wakeboard.